Hello, everyone. I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing possible new information on the ZO Blu-ray, my first exposure to Dogengers, and the final push towards Once and Always. But before all that, Buster, how are you doing?
It's been a pretty chill day. Been reading Dragon Ball and failing to write things.
You've been dragging, getting that Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I am reading. I did finish the Z portion of the story, which is basically the whole original run. So, yeah.
Nice.
So either I do GT Super or I punish myself with Evolution next.
I mean, you're gonna have to rip that Band-Aid off eventually. Maybe you should. Aren't you doing bad movie nights with friends? You should do that as the next one.
Yeah, but it's like if it shows up on Tubi, because we cover things that are on Tubi. So, yeah. How are you, Huminator?
Well, I'm a little under the weather today. People can
Fair.
probably hear it in my voice. I'm a little stuffed up, just a little bit. Got a little tickle in the back of my throat, but that's really it. Other than that, I have the energy to get up and do the stuff I normally do. It's just that little annoying thing that's holding me back a little bit today. So it's not been a bad week since we last did an episode of TWIT, but it's definitely these last few days, because I started feeling this way on Friday. It's definitely been a bit of a drag compared to what it normally would be.
That's fair. I mean, it's flu season anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, I just hope this shit is gone in the next couple of days, because I would really like not to be sick on Once and Always Day, for as corny as that sounds.
Yeah, you gotta show up in your fanciest suit to watch the Power Rangers Netflix special.
Yeah. Oh man, but hey, if you wanna be fancy and keep track of everything Modular Media is doing, help us out in the algorithm, all that good stuff, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you leave a comment down below, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications, and get every video we post delivered right to your inbox. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at the Modular Media, on Reddit r/Modular Media, and on Tumblr at Modular Media. So you wanna know what's going on, what we're doing, all the other crazy stuff we do here at Modular, like a comic book podcast and a shooting the shit podcast. Oh man, there's plenty of ways to do it, and you really should. But that's all I really got to say about that. So let's get on to the news. Our top story this week. Hey, remember Cavity Colors? They've got more Godzilla merch for you, and this time it's a lot of Jet Jaguar stuff, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jet Jaguar's first appearance.
It all looks pretty good. That's all I got to say.
I like the one where him and Godzilla are shaking hands.
Yeah, very Office style meme.
Yeah, the thing about these kinds of shirts is I always look at them and I go like, yeah, that's something I could imagine being in a Target or a Walmart, and it's never in a Target or a Walmart.
Yeah. I'd pick them up, but just only at Target and Walmart, because I don't feel like online, because shirt shipping is awful for my case, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be a really nice shirt, or it's got to be really discounted for me to buy it online.
Yeah, or it gotta be YouTuber.
Oh, man. Alright, that's our only Godzilla news this week. Let's go ahead and get into some Ultraman news. First of all, Tsuburaya has been making some moves in the corporate landscape this week. First of all, they signed a joint initiative partnership agreement with DOCOMO, which, as I understand it, is a mobile network in Japan. They're basically going to get these guys to carry Tsuburaya Imagination and also help them fund making new content for Tsuburaya Imagination.
Yeah, it'll be like when, like, hey, you know how, like, in networks here sell streaming services? It'll be like that, you know?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. But also, and more importantly, in my opinion, they've partnered with Sukagawa City, which is the birthplace of Eiji Tsuburaya, to basically do a joint promotional thing of like, hey, Ultraman's pretty cool, and it originates very specifically from this place, so you should do tourism here, and also you should buy Ultraman products.
Yeah, it just seems like a nice little legacy thing.
Yeah, it's nice. Does Toei have anything like that with Ishinomori's hometown?
I have no idea, and I probably have heard of it by now, or I could be lying on my ass and I haven't heard about it yet, but who knows.
Yeah, because I know there's an Ishinomori museum there, but I don't know if like it's funded by Toei or anything like that.
Probably
Probably
like,
not, because
because
they're cheapskates.
well, that and also there's an Ishinomori Productions, so they probably help fund that. Like they're not a part of Toei. It's
Mm.
weird. Anyway, next thing.
Yeah, we've also got the third quarter financial reports for Tsuburaya Fields Holdings specifically, which is just the larger company above Tsuburaya Productions, which basically shows it's been another very strong year for Ultraman. Ultraman is still growing, it's still expanding in many, many sectors. Funnily enough, though, the one everybody kind of cottoned on to and went, this is a meme, they realized women like Ultraman this year.
Yeah, which honestly, like I like they should have expanded on it in the article because the Mephilus was a big like hit with Fujiyoshi's apparently in Japan last year. So
Yeah, Mephilus's actor is a DILF as far as I understand the
yeah,
female understanding of that character.
I mean, like, yeah, man, I'm just saying.
Mhm. I mean, when I don't know about Asian fans specifically, like native speaking fans in Japan, but like over here, when the Western release for Shin Ultraman happened, I several female Twitter and Tumblr users I saw immediately started simping for Mephilus after seeing the movie.
Yeah. Uh, well, I guess speaking of seeing movies or shows,
Oh yeah. Hey everybody. Shout Factory is having a big spring sale where you can buy Sentai and Kamen Rider DVD sets from them. Everything's I want to say about 15 $20 off original price.
seems like they're all 50% because these are like $50
Hmm.
sets, and then they're like going up to $25 to $30. And honestly,
Yeah.
these are like the most reasonable prices for what the Sentai sets are. Because I think I'm personally in the camp that think Sentai sets are too overpriced for what they give you.
Hmm.
Um, but like, hey, it's good. Like, if you want to get 01 and Kuuga as well, those are on sale too. No Ryuki on
Yeah.
sale, which is a bit of a shame. But hey, that came out 2 months ago. I understand. It's still a new product, so.
Yeah, I was a little tempted to grab Jetman, but I just don't have the room in my budget right now, and the sale ends on Friday, so it's not like I can say I'll get it when my paycheck gets here at the end of the month.
Yeah, yeah, understandable. And
Yeah.
also, I'm glad I got you Jetman pilled.
Jetman's a good show. It happens. But that's it for the Sentai news. Very little Sentai news this week, but plenty of Rider news. First and foremost, from reliable friend of the show source, the Vacuuminator. So, okay, let me back up and explain. Yesterday, and still technically, actually, no, I think no longer, because it's now the 18th in Japan. But when we're recording this, it's still the 17th in America. But when it became the 17th in Japan yesterday, I made a little tweet saying like, "Hey, it's Kamen Rider ZO's 30th anniversary. I love ZO. It's a great thing. It's a great movie. I made a video about it. I hope we get some anniversary content for it at Toei, at Team Rider, at Bandai. I want to see a TFC special and a Shinchoku Seiho, pretty please." And then below that, I also put, "Oh, and Media Blasters, where the hell is that Blu-ray out?" Because they announced that, like, what, a year and a half ago now?
2 years, I
And nothing else
think.
since? But about an hour after I tweeted that, Media Blasters themselves replied saying, "Come to Anime New Jersey for Special Edition Limited Edition." And at first I was like, what the heck? Did I at the wrong account? This doesn't seem like the way an actual official account would promote something. But then I went and Googled it. Anime New Jersey is a convention run by Media Blasters. I'm willing to bet they're either going to have a big panel there where they announce how the pre-order for the ZO and assumingly the Shin and the J DVDs is going to work, or Blu-rays, I mean, or they're going to have them available for sale for the first time there. Now that's kind of conjecture based off of this very small amount of information I've gotten, but I don't freaking care. For once, yelling at one of these companies got us a response.
Yeah, so like it's still happening. That's basically the big info we can get from it. It's like it's not canceled. It's still happening.
Yeah, so color me intrigued, and
Yeah,
I said as
give
much to
yourself a
them.
pat
I
on the
can't make it to
back.
that convention because it's way out of my way, and I'm already planning 2 trips for that time of year. Anime New Jersey is in December. I'll keep an eye on their social media, and hopefully we'll have more news for you about the ZO Blu-ray in December.
Yeah, pray to God.
Nah. But moving on to more modern content, the Juuga versus Olteca special is almost out, and so they being Omicron and Toei, posted the official poster for it, and we finally get to see what the Juuga or the Olteca suit looks like, and it's a repaint of Overdemons.
It looks fine.
Yeah, I like green.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
green.
good color on it. It's like my big problem with the Overdemon suit isn't like the design, but more so the color balance. And all the Overdemon repaints have like really been enhancing the color palette. So yeah,
Yeah,
good on them.
good to know there is actually a suit.
Yeah, it's not just like like I'm pretty sure like the only people who thought there is no suit are just like freaking fear mongers. So
Mm. Yeah.
yeah,
But now on to something a little more prescient, which is
and frustrating.
according to Fandango, we now have official showtime listings for Shin Kamen Rider. Depending on your area, most theaters that carry Fathom events will be showing it on May 31st at 7 p.m. One showing. That's all you get. English subtitles.
Okay, so first off, they actually like I looked at the link again, and they finally have a show in my local theater that I go see Phantom events in, so I don't have to drive too far to it.
Okay, good.
And right now, I'm gonna try to check it out live on show just to like see if like I can actually buy the ticket.
Hmm.
But
This
I
is
don't like this.
yeah, because here's the thing. We just found this by digging around on Fandango. This wasn't announced by Fathom Events or Toei.
Yeah, nobody has said anything official, and I thought it would have been official by now. Maybe they're waiting to. Maybe by the time this podcast comes up, they'll actually be like, "Oh, here is the official listings. Go nuts!" But like, I don't like. How am I supposed to get local audiences to like freaking go to this?
Yeah. Team Rider, I thought this is what you were for.
And it's like I don't mind it being a Phantom event. I expected it. Shin Ultraman was a Phantom event. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they're not even trying a film festival run, that's depressing, man.
Shin Ultraman did have 4 showings across 2 days, though. At least in my area.
Yeah, like I guess it was just really popular then, but just it's really frustrating. That's only just one show, and like granted, there's a lot of theaters in my area, but not every like I live in Illinois. There's a lot of theaters here. Not every country and state has that like luxury, or not even country, because this is only America and Canada exclusive. So
And like, there are 2 showings near me according to Fandango, but also it's one showing at my pick your poison of theater, because they're both theaters that are a bit of a poke away from me.
okay, so apparently I
It's
can buy tickets.
okay, great. It's on the 31st, which is a Wednesday, the middle of the fucking week, and it's at 7 p.m., which is right when I get off work. So I'm going to have to leave work early to go to this.
Yeah, luckily I got flexible time and I don't have college on Wednesday, so but like ugh.
Yeah, and I have a very understanding workplace, but also, like, fucking not everybody else has that, so I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how well this does, because my Shin Ultraman showing was pretty packed, but not like to capacity. So I'll be interested to see how this does.
Yeah, they already got one. I'm the first person to buy a ticket at this theater, so
Hmm.
and like I
I'm
just did it because I wanted to test. Hey, does people? Because I know some people have been getting like rejected when they try to buy tickets. But no, I guess it might actually be official by the time this episode goes up. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, I can't afford to buy them until my check drops at the end of the month, but I will get tickets as soon as I can. And I'll be going on the 31st, and we'll probably finally be able to give our thoughts with full spoilers on Shin Kamen Rider on the 5th of June episode of TWIT. So
Yeah.
make sure you see it before then if you don't want to be spoiled, or just don't listen to the podcast.
But I think that's a terrible way to advertise our podcast. Oh yeah, we're talking about this thing. Don't listen to it.
That's true, but that's the best I got. And oh my god, I'm a freaking idiot.
What did you do?
I said earlier that was all for Sentai news when we talked about the Shout DVDs. I put that before there because it was both Kamen Rider and Sentai. Here's our only piece of Sentai news. We have a new trailer for Donbrothers vs. Zenkaiger, and it looks fucking insane.
Yeah, also, I don't think Tukai Flint's gonna be in it, sorry, mate.
I'm not okay.
Yeah. I mean, at least Zox gets to be the Burger King, so that's good.
He's the Kashiwa Mochi King, and also like we're getting little after stories for everybody. We're gonna see what they went off to do.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Kaito's dad is gonna become Hawkeizer again.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see Donbrothers Kaito on screen with Zenkaiger Kaito.
So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, people have been saying your Fury might be in danger, but I don't know. I think it could either be like time travel shenanigans.
Works as a thematic thing. It's more of a thematic thing, like so for that full story. This is just bonus content anyway. And like Tokusatsu bonus content, especially for Kamen Rider and Sentai, have been infamous for kind of like, we're just here to have fun. We like the thematic thing is still there, but like, you know what I mean?
That's true, but also like I consider it like you should count it all as continuity, and it should act like it's continuity because I'm an OCD guy like that.
Fair, but like I'm more about the mechanics, you know, like how does this function as a story, not as in universe.
That's where we differ as reviewers. That's why you should watch both our videos.
Yeah.
But okay, now we're gonna move into the
all the Power Rangers.
The thicket of Power Rangers news. And we're going to start off small with just a slight update on a Lightning Collection item. The Alien Rangers Amazon pack has been delayed. It was going to be coming out on June 5th. Now it's expected to ship on August 3rd. No real identifiable reason for this, and Amazon is the only place that has delayed it. Hasbro Pulse is still showing the same date, but considering Amazon is the place it's supposed to be like mainly sold at, this might affect all the other places it's available at too. So sorry everybody, you're gonna have to wait a few extra weeks to pay like what was this, like $120 for a bunch of Rangers?
Yeah, for a bunch of Rangers that you only care about if you watch the Sentai.
Yeah, or if you're a completionist, or like me, you just fucking. I'm just gonna put this out there once again. If anybody is buying it and doesn't want the Red Alien Ranger, hit me up. I'll buy that off of you loose, because I want to be complete on Lightning Collection Reds.
Yeah, red fellas.
Yeah, the Red Boys. Well, let's move on to something that I think everyone forgot, except for Mockdent, because he posted a few tweets reporting on the Power Rangers Power Up Tour having a stop in his area. Just like some photos and a little bit of a report on what was going on. Basically, they had suit actors there for the Red, Pink, and Black Rangers, and they did like a little stunt show fighting invisible putties. You could get a photo op with the Yellow Ranger, and there was like a little test your reflexes game, and this was really a thing that was just meant for little kids and their parents who kind of remember what the Power Rangers was.
It's very cute. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but like it's cute for like the little ones, you know?
Yeah, I remember when this got announced and we thought like, oh, this is going to be like one of those Toei proper stage show things, but for Power Rangers. Well, I got to get tickets. And then we forgot about it, and then Mockdent posted about this, and I saw his first tweet, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta see if that's in my area. And then I saw his second tweet with all the photos of like the little like 6 or 7 year olds standing with their arms up in front of the Rangers, and I was like, oh, I don't want to go
like they're trying
there.
to appeal to the kids though, so it's like, you know, 'cause Power Rangers is for all ages, and they should like get a new audience. So like this is like,
yeah, this is a good thing to have for the kids. It's just I look at this and I go, oh, I literally can't go to that, because if I go to that without a child, people are gonna, you know, they're gonna give me that look.
Yeah, they're gonna think very unsavory thoughts about Mr. Vacuuminator.
Uh-huh. But hey, speaking of thinking unsavory thoughts, it's time for Vac to talk about toys for insert amount of minutes here in editing straight.
Okay, honestly, I slept through this entire event. Like, I just because it's fasting, so I'm trying to sleep more. But I honestly the way I literally looked up this event I was like, okay, what did Vac tweet?
Yeah,
Like,
no. Okay, so we got announced, and this is apologies we weren't able to warn you about this, folks. This got announced. What was it, Wednesday or Thursday? A Hasbro Power Rangers Fanstream to A, celebrate the 30th anniversary, B, announce a bunch of new merch, and C, promote Once and Always. And it happened Monday the 17th at 11 a.m., which I was pretty hyped for despite not feeling the best today, because this is the first time in a long time there's been a fan stream happening on a day where I don't have to work.
hooray!
So I actually got to sit in the comfort of my computer chair and watch this and tweet about it. And once again, none of the fandom news sites have posted a complete recap article with screen caps of everything that was shown. So I've basically compiled a bunch of Twitter links that amount to a play-by-play for folks in the video description. Sorry that other people didn't do the work we usually rely on them to do to discuss the news on this podcast.
They're more like they want to report on more bullshit rumors than actually stuff happening with the brand. It sucks.
Yeah, but if you do just want a full recap, well, hey, I'm gonna go through that verbally for you in a second. But if you want like visuals accompanying it, Josh posted a pretty comprehensive episode of Lightning Storm that you can go watch, which I'll put that in the description at the top of the links as well. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start going through it point by point. First of all, the stream opened up and we knew this was coming because she was the one who first announced it. Emily is back on the Power Rangers brand. Basically, she said when the stream was announced last week that due to her new role at Hasbro, she's now overseeing several brands, including Power Rangers. So she's not been moved off of G.I. Joe or Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's more like she is the boss of all three of those brands and possibly another one now, which is probably a result of the downsizing and restructuring that Hasbro has been doing lately, which, you know, that in general isn't the best thing, but I'm happy Emily got the promotion because I've been really happy with the work she's been doing on G.I. Joe. I think she's been a marvelous presence promoting that brand, and her Dungeons and Dragons stuff hasn't been half bad either. And also, like, not to throw shade at anyone in particular, but, like, the moment people started souring on the Lightning Collection was well after she left. So I think they might have brought her back on as, like, hey, this is falling apart without you. Please right the ship.
Yeah. Or I see it more as, like, she is the temporary until they can find a permanent one. Because it's like, oh, we need someone trusted with this brand before we go into the perma, like, new... whatever, until we can find someone new, you know?
And yeah, it's either this is the new team, or like this is a temporary team until Hasbro's restructuring is done and they have a new team in place. But basically, it was Emily, John Warden, and another guy whose name is escaping me at the moment. Basically just sitting there and casually talking about everything all the way through. And that was one of my biggest takeaways from this, is like, as much as we have like said they've gotten better at being on camera this year, this is the most natural this team has ever felt on camera, because it literally just felt like you were sitting in a room with these people and they were going, hey, let me show you this cool thing, rather than, yes, we have exciting products based on the entertainment to show you. And again, I think that might be Emily's influence, because the G.I. Joe streams have always been super casual and fun, of her and Emily, or her and Lenny just goofing around, showing you the toys and geeking out. And this wasn't fully that vibe, but it was a lot closer to it than I've ever seen the Power Rangers team, which was one of the most impressive things out of this stream, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they did a little like introduction thing, and then very quickly Emily jumped into reading off a pre-written statement from the Hasbro legal department regarding the Lightning Collection quality control issues.
Look, I know they addressed it, but I didn't know the Hasbro legal department's like, all right, read this.
No, this is a thing from the G.I. Joe streams. Whenever there's been like an issue over there with something, Emily will have a point in a stream where she goes, I'm going to read off a statement that legal gave us, and then I'm going to kind of put it in simpler terms that anybody can understand. And she didn't do quite that here. She just read off the statement, and then she said, yes, we hear you, Ranger fans. We know there's been issues with the products, and we're working as hard as we can to fix things, which it's not the best thing ever, and I don't like that they just pointed people to customer care again, which I've talked again and again about the issues with that department, but at least they fucking acknowledged this shit finally.
Yeah.
At least they are working on fixing it. Like, this is, for a silent corporate entity like Hasbro, I think this is huge, and I'm really happy that it happened. But you probably don't want to hear too much about that. You want to hear about toys. So they went into officially revealing the next wave of Lightning Collection, which was pretty much exactly what Josh told us from the leaks. Wave 15 is 3 figures, and the first figure was Turbo Red, and it is indeed TJ, which was a very pleasant surprise. I really like how this figure looks too. Like, I've never been the biggest fan of the Car Ranger suits. I think they're kind of stupid, but I also know that's the point. They were supposed to be silly parodies of Sentai suits, like all of that show was supposed to be a silly parody, and they tried to force it into a serious context in Power Rangers, and it didn't work. But I think the Lightning Collection team did a fantastic job of replicating it here. Like, I literally can't spot any details that are missing or wrong. All the little drawn-on lines are there. The visor trim is wonderfully picked out in silver. The unmasked head sculpt looks pretty close to how Selwyn Ward looked at the time. And he comes with all 3 of his weapons.
Hooray!
Like, as I said earlier in the show, I am Lightning Collection Red Ranger complete, so I am definitely going to be getting this guy. But whereas before I would have been like, I gotta get Turbo Red, okay, like, begrudging, I'll buy it. Now I'm like, holy shit, this looks like a great action figure, even if it's not a suit I love. I'm looking forward to getting this. And yeah, looks like a solid figure. But the next one they showed, I know Buster is probably going to be way more excited about. RPM Yellow was revealed, and again, I was pleasantly surprised with how good this looks. The details of the costume are pretty much all there. The head sculpt looks exactly like the actress at the time. The only possible complaint I could have about it, because again, like, it's the new articulation scheme with the pinless double-jointed arms and everything, is that she doesn't have her zip charger, which we already knew was going to be a thing from leaks, but she's got both modes of the weapon that the whole base Free Rangers have, and the blaster mode of it, just like Turbo Red's blaster, has a hole for effects parts. So again, I think this is a really solid looking figure.
I will talk about the entire wave when you talk about the final one.
Okay. Well, the final one revealed was, of course, our Lightspeed Rescue Blue, who I've said before, I really like Lightspeed Rescue, but like Blue is the weakest member of the team as a character in my opinion. There's just not a lot to him, and what is to him is pretty goofy. But Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record today. I think this is a really good looking figure. They got all the details right. All the lines look pretty crisp. And the head sculpt maybe isn't like spot on, but it has the spirit of the guy. And again, team-wide weapon, both modes. The blaster mode has an effects parts hole. This is basically as much as I'd want from a Lightspeed Blue Ranger figure. And again, yeah, a free figure wave is weird, but there's a lot of new tooling here to bring all these new Ranger teams to the line, and I think it's really cool that we're getting all these Ranger teams in the line now, and they made sure to point that out, like, hey, we heard you guys, we know you want more of the teams we haven't gotten to yet, so here's a whole wave of nothing but characters from teams we haven't done yet on the stream.
I know I said this when we got the Dino Charge, Dino Fury, like green and blue wave, but I'm gonna say it again. This is the best wave of the Lightning Collection.
Yeah.
Like in terms of picks, like I already said, the Mesogog one was like, oh, they keep getting better with their picks, man. It's like these are really good picks, and the fact that they're all brand new teams, that's even better. Honestly, the big surprise for me was Lightspeed Blue, because I think Lightspeed's a bit overrated, but like that figure looks so good. Like I of course I'm partial to blue suits, but honestly I don't like money blue Rangers. Like I feel like they're very hit and miss with me. Like in terms of their characterization. But like from what I remember, I like Chad, and his face sculpt is like the best face sculpt they've done. There's so much personality into smugness here. And like, yeah, it's probably not actor accurate, but like it's a good approximation of his personality, and I like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look exactly like him, but literally I googled Power Rangers Chad, and I found the reference photo that they probably used for him. When you Google Power Rangers Chad and go to images, the image all the way on the right, on the second row down, I'm pretty sure that's the one they used for the head sculpt.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm happy with RPM, the RPM yellow finally getting in, and like hopefully it'll get blue, green, red, all the others soon. But yeah, I just Lightspeed Blue is the one I'm like most into, and even then like Turbo Red, I'm very excited for Turbo Red too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll buy them because recently I've kind of had a bit of an issue of toys, but like I'm very happy these are picks that people will get in their hands, and hopefully the quality control is better.
I'm definitely getting it seems like they're really trying to fix up the quality control, but that's backtracking on things. I'm definitely getting red as soon as I can. I want to get yellow, but her and blue are going to kind of be like a if I find them on the pegs type situation. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to get them just because like I like Rose, but she is not one of my.
You mean Summer?
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of the actress's name. I like Summer, but she's not like one of my favorite characters from RPM.
Yeah,
and Chad is like I've said it before. He's my least favorite Lightspeed Ranger. So it'll be like if I find him, or if I end up getting all the other Lightspeed Rangers after they've released them, and I'm like, well, I gotta complete the team. It's just one more.
Yeah, I'm not sure really. I know people are gonna want Titanium Ranger. I really want Joel Green because like I like him. Yeah, I know he's a bit of a problematic, but like he still like sticks in my head as one of the more memorable. Maybe it's his hat.
Yeah. See, for me, I definitely have to have the triad of red, pink, and titanium.
Oh yeah.
But I should also say, because I tweeted about this while the stream was going, while they were talking about Lightspeed Blue, they made sure to say that they're interested in doing Zap Lightspeed swords. Like,
oh, I'm so sorry for you. You just bought the Super Train.
I just bought the originals, and like I didn't spend an arm and a leg on them, but like John Warden literally said Lightspeed is his favorite season at the moment, and he thinks it has really cool Zords. He'd love to see them in Zap, which I think is blatantly like, that's in development. We probably won't see it until late 2024, but like, oh man, oh god.
Yeah, oh yeah. Lightspeed has really good Zords too, so I won't blame him, you know?
Also, the pre-orders for these are already up. They went up today when we're recording the podcast at 1 p.m. So when you're listening to the podcast, they'll have been up for a while, as will be the pre-order for the next thing we're talking about. Or actually, I think that goes up an hour after the podcast. But Real quick, I'm just going to jump ahead because we also have the links to the pre-orders in the video description as a separate thing. Something I didn't realize until the pre-orders went up and we got the pretty promotional shots. In these shots with all the accessories laid out for each of the figures, you can see each one of these comes with a matching set of hands. There's no, like, left out oddball righties or lefties, which is freaking amazing. That's something people have been asking for with the line since day one. Everybody comes with fists and gripping hands, and I think that's all they really need.
Yeah. Should we blaze through the rest?
Well, there's plenty more to say, but I'm going as fast as I can, bud.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So the next thing they showed was the Wave 2 Cobra Kai figures.
Who cares?
They're Target exclusives. It's the actual main guy from the show and another guy who I don't fucking know. They're two generic white guys. The most interesting thing about these is sleeveless arms on the ninjetti bodies. Maybe they have plans for those sleeveless arms on something else in the future, like a shirtless Tommy and Jason Gung Ho 2-pack or something like that.
I got nothing, man. Let's move on.
Okay, so the next thing they showed, if I can find the damn link real quick. Okay, so after that, to give themselves a quick minute to get changed, they played the trailer for Once and Always. Nothing new, literally just the trailer we've had for a few weeks now, but I thought I'd mention it because I'm trying to give a proper play-by-play. But after that, we cut back, and they were all wearing the MMPR merch hoodies, and they did a silly little It's Morphin' Time, and then they showed off all the rest of the remastered line, which was a really cool surprise. I thought we were just going to see black because, as we talked about, I think it was last week, literally, there's a listing right now for Wave 2 being a repack of yellow and blue, with black being the only new figure in that wave, and then Wave 3 was going to be the other free. But no, they showed all of them here, and interestingly enough, they said that red, green, and pink are going up for pre-order tomorrow, but black is not ready for pre-order yet. That's coming at a later date, and they want you to stay tuned to socials for that. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but I do know that these figures look really damn good. Like, everything we've said about the remasters before already applies to them, but all the new head sculpts, which we saw new head sculpts for everybody but Jason, you'll probably have it by the time this comes out when the pre-orders go up. But the new head sculpts for Kimberly, Zach, and Tommy all look spot on to how the actors looked at the time. It's really impressive. But also, the shield that's going to be coming with green, don't worry, I saw some people confused about that, it is coming with green, is fully removable, and so are the armbands. So you can put the Dragon Shield on any of the other Rangers you want. So if you missed out on SDCC Dragon Shield Jason, now you can make a Dragon Shield Red Ranger, or a Dragon Shield Black Ranger, or if you're a Boom Comics reader, you can make a Dragon Shield Pink Ranger. And they said that on the stream, which I thought was a really cool, like, just keying in, hey, here's the stuff that's going on with this, you want to buy it for these reasons.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of tempted to get remastered green now, just because of like removable, I'll get that in blue, and then I'll just put Dragon Shield on blue just for like maximum Kino or something.
Yeah, I also realized that today, that Billy is the only Ranger of the original 6 who's never worn the Dragon Shield in media. Somebody's got to fix that.
Once and Always, come on.
Once and Always, or like the Boom Comics. I'll take either or. Yeah. Also, the Green Ranger is going to come with the frickin' green candle, which is an accessory we've never gotten before with any toys. So, that's a really cool addition.
Yeah.
But I think that's everything I had to say about those. I'm just double checking. Yeah, okay. So the next thing is, while they were showing off the boxes, they made sure to point out finally, after months of this packaging style being slowly rolled out, they said who the new box artist is. Orlando Orsenia is the new box artist for the Lightning Collection line. So this is the guy that you guys can thank or get mad at for chasing off the old box artist. Except that's not what actually happened. Hasbro decided to change box artists independently. Be nice. Welcome this guy to the fandom like you did the other guy. Just saying. Okay, back in the actual toy news. They showed the next deluxe wave, and we've talked about this deluxe wave for what feels like years and years and years. Oh, also they showed the once and always clip that we already had for like a week or two of the command center scene. With the proxy power coins and all that. But after that, they went to showing off the next deluxe wave, which is Minotaur. Yes, Minotaur is there. But also, I really should have labeled these links better. I skipped like 4 things.
Yeah, whatever.
It's late and I'm
Minotaur's
tired.
there?
Yeah, they promoted the Boom Kickstarter that's going on right now, and they also showed that the Black Ranger body is now going to be available via Selfie Series. Hooray! It's cool that they're rolling out new bodies, but like, give us bodies we actually want.
Also, who cares? Selfie Series dumb.
I disagree, but okay. Okay, sorry. This is a fucking time. I really wish somebody had just posted a goddamn article so I don't have to keep opening these links to check what I'm talking about. Alright, they showed Deluxe Minotaur finally, and he looks great. I really like the way this figure looks. I talked about when we found out that he was probably going to be coming soon because of Once and Always, that like, that's a suit that, like, yeah, it did have a lot of detail on it, like the other ones, but it wasn't as noticeable because he was often in shadow or in dark environments, and the fur helps cover it up. And I think they compensated for that really well here, by making it mostly the colors of the plastic. Like, there's a little paint on this guy, but for the most part, it is an entirely original sculpt with the colors being the colors of the plastic, and it works so well. And it's also really cool that his accessories are a unique effects part, his club, his shield, and the clay mold of him from when Finster was making him.
Very cool.
Also alternate hands.
Eee.
I really like the way this looks. I'm definitely going to be picking this up as soon as I can. I think this is going to be, again, like we've had with the Monsters line, one that will reach outside of the fandom. I can see a lot of people who collect stuff like Mythic Legions wanting to pick this up. But then, the other deluxe wasn't Wild Force Red. Wild Force Red is not here. And Josh said during his recap that he thinks, just his personal belief, he doesn't have any source that's told him this, he thinks Wild Force Red has been canceled. I'm pretty sure they just pushed it back because anniversary money, we need it. Rita is the next deluxe. That's the wave mate. This entire deluxe wave is villains. And Rita looks really damn good again. They have
face sculpts are really expressive.
Yeah, she has swappable faces that are actually based off of screen caps of Machigo Soga. There is very clearly the after 10,000 years I'm free face, the I have a headache face, and the make my monster grow face. Those are the free options. You also get a newly sculpted staff, free sets of alternate hands, an effects part we've gotten a bunch of times before, but it's in a new color, and the dress has been fixed. If you aren't aware, the original release, the trim was silver because, it's celebrating the 25th silver anniversary of Rita and Zed's wedding, but in the show, the dress has gold trim, so they gave it the gold trim here. This looks like the best Rita figure that's been made, because we had the Samurai figure, which was awful. We had the first Lightning collection, which was all right, but the face sculpt didn't look like a face Rita had ever made in the show, didn't look anything like Machiko Soga, the trim was wrong, and then we had the Ultimates, which looked really good, but still didn't look a lot like Machiko Soga, and now we have this one, which doesn't have as many accessories as the Ultimates, but looks exactly like Machiko Soga. In my opinion, this is the best Rita figure to date. If you want a Rita figure, this should be the one you're going after. Also, I saw some people saying, like, oh, if you're going to do alternate faces, I wish you could give, like, at least one alternate face that looks like Carla Perez, who is the actress that played Rita in the footage in Season 2 and 3 and onward. But, like, guys, it's Hasbro. We're getting another release of this down the line that has Carla Perez faces.
Yeah, they're all about them, like, re-releases and, like, revisions.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, both deluxe figures look great. I'm very interested in both of them. They're going to be going out for pre-order on Wednesday at the same time as all the others, 1 p.m. But then the next thing they showed, which was pretty hilarious because they hyped it up as we wanna continue our anniversary celebration. So for people who had a hard time getting a hold of this, we're bringing this older item out of the vault and we're putting it back up in limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse today. And it was the black and gold NFT Megazord, minus the NFT part.
I mean, good that that's a thing, but, like, it still has that disgusting spit on it.
I just think it's hilarious because clearly what happened is they're just trying to spin it as we're bringing back a thing so people who couldn't get it can get a hold of it. I'm willing to bet they didn't sell very many of these, and now they're like, ah, shit, we're stuck with these. We have to get rid of them. Mark it down $20 and put it on Pulse without the NFT shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're into black repaints, there you go. But I don't care about black repaints at all unless it's like an actual character in the story like Nemesis Prime is in most Transformers shows. So I have no interest in this. I don't even have the regular Zap Dino Megazord yet. But that was pretty much it. That was everything that happened at this stream. And this stream is notable because it broke the record for most Lightning Collection reveals at one event. 11 figures over the course of this whole stream. And again, I know we talked about it at the top. I think this was a fantastic stream. I think this is one of the best streams they've ever had. Everything felt so casual and natural. They addressed issues that we've had with the line for a long, long time. They got in a lot of promotion for the show and the comics, and just about everything they showed, I'm interested in on some level. About the only thing that I'm like, I'm definitely not getting that, is the black and gold Megazord. Unless financial stuff gets in the way, I want to get all the remasters. I want to get both those deluxes because they look amazing. I'm trying to be complete on Lightning Collection Red, so I'm gonna get Turbo Red at some point, and it looks like a fantastic figure. And if I can find them on pegs for like a decent price, I would like to get RPM Yellow and Lightspeed Blue. So this stream is goated. I'm so glad that we got such a good stream on the same week as Once and Always. I feel like this was a fantastic job all around. Hats off to the Hasbro team, and hats off to anyone who's going to leave a comment saying that I'm a Hasbro bootlicker, because are you new?
Yeah, it happens. Then some things happened, I guess.
Yeah, there's also been plenty of other promotion for Once and Always going on this week. Specifically, today there was a in-person event in LA's Grove Park where the cast and crew, or no, just the cast, most of the returning actors showed up, as well as Min's actress, to do a little promotional event, just saying hi, doing photo ops, saying please watch our special, that kind of stuff. And from all reports, it was a pretty good time. Obviously, we weren't able to go because it's in fucking LA and we live on the complete opposite side of the country. But looks like it was a good time. And interestingly enough, they were filming it. Netflix had a crew there filming it, so we might see an actual like featurette on this from Netflix at some point in the not too distant future.
Next Sunday AD. And then there's some clips out, more promotion behind the scenes.
Yeah, really just tons of stuff. A bunch of the returning alumni have been interviewed by The Guardian and Screen Rant. I didn't have time to read those, so I really have nothing to say about them, and as I understand it, there wasn't a lot of new, interesting information in there, just stuff we've heard before from fandom outlets. But if you want to check them out, links will be in the video description, as with all the news links. The new clip, I thought it was pretty cool. Helped turn me around on a thing I've already set up and turning around on. But Buster didn't watch it. They don't want to watch it. They're avoiding spoilers, so I won't say what was in it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't in the comments as well. Also, there was a photo that came out of the cast having signed the script, and we now know that the new Alpha unit is going to be Alpha 9. Hooray!
I think this is his 9th season appearance. That could be what it is. I might be overthinking it.
Yeah, because they did say he was going to have a special number back when we got that promotional behind-the-scenes featurette. And I thought it was going to be Alpha 30, but Alpha 9. Okay.
Yeah, I guess this is his 9th season being on the show or something. I don't know. That's my guess.
Yeah. Also, we got a bunch more behind-the-scenes photos again this week. We got a closer look at Rita's time travel machine, where we finally have it confirmed. Yes, they were using Lightning Collection figures for the captured Ranger props. There's no figures that hadn't been previously announced shown there, because this special was filmed months and months ago. Also, we got to see a clip of them rehearsing the morph, and that was pretty neat to see, mainly because I never realized it, but it makes total sense. They have to have stunt people come in and hand them the morphers when they reach behind, and they just cut that bit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is finally it. That is all the news that's fit to print. So, Buster, why don't you take us on to the new releases while I mute my mic for a second to do something?
All right, fellas, it's time. It's TWIT's first time talking about a new season of Dogengers while it airs. Okay, no, we talked about high school a bit, but I only talked about it. But no, Vac is actually watching Dogengers with me. Very exciting stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode of Dogengers Metropolis. Here's my badge! We gotta get Vac's thoughts on it as soon as he unmutes his mic.
So yeah, as Buster was saying, this was my first time actually sitting down and watching an episode of Dogengers. I've seen clips and screen caps here and there over the years, but I've never watched a full episode before, and as a new fan coming in, I gotta say, this was fairly easy to hop into. I didn't feel thrown off at all by any of the continuity. All the recurring characters, or at least I assumed all the recurring characters, like, I recognized people from screen caps and clips, and I was like, oh yeah, I can get what this guy's about pretty easily, and it's not like they're a main character referencing past events all throughout this episode. They're just here. And the our new Eiji character, whose name is slipping my mind at the moment.
Let me go look for it.
I really like him, because he's just a dorky good boy who wants to help people, so he became a police officer, but he gets roped into being a friggin' Toku hero, and he's like, do I really have to? I just want to give people directions when they're lost. I just want to be a bicycle cop. Why do I have to deal with hostage situations now? Oh golly, oh jeez.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to look for his name. I know, like, he has, like, a very complicated hero name. Give me a second.
I think the actual name, the public marketing name they shortened it down to in the episode was, like, Hyakoden or something like that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the character's name.
I'm trying to look for it. Give me a second.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, this was a really... apparently the opening shot was referencing one of the Deadpool movies, which is really
that's okay. I'm glad I didn't just think that and I was wrong. No, I literally was like, oh wow, this is the opening to the first Deadpool movie, because it has a big slow-mo opening credit sequence of a fight scene that happens later in the movie.
Yeah, like I think they explicitly said this is a Deadpool reference. Okay, fellas.
Hmm.
Also, Metropolis is on my drama list now. So
Hey, because when I watched it, it wasn't, and I had to make a meme tweet to let people know I'd watched it.
Uh, I think it's his name is Meguru Shirashi, played
Okay.
by Jake's actor from Kamen Rider Forze. So that's really
Hmm.
cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed this like new take. It's basically like both the Yakuza and the police force are just sick of the heroes BS that they just keep causing in the town. And it's like, you know what, screw it. We're making our own robots and heroes who are played by like these really funny scientist brothers. And you can tell one is very much a hero purist and the other is just a degenerate otaku. So based on what they made, like and just how they describe it and like how they like express their love for their new creation.
And they're also
Which
played by the same actor, so there's a lot of hilarious intercutting.
yeah, the editing in this episode is really good.
Hmm.
Like as the joke says, we wasted all our budget on the slow motion. Yeah, again, Dogengers does a lot of jokes in between like scenes like that, where it's like here's text about like instead of telling
Yeah,
you,
when
oh,
you would
what's
normally expect like thanking our sponsor, Grando sponsor de okorishimasu in a Toei show, they just have gags.
yeah, it's great. They cram so many gags into like every frame of this show,
Hmm.
and yeah, and I think you would like it because I know you're a sucker for cop Toku in a way. Like
Hmm.
you like Drive and SPD, so like I figured, oh, okay, this is a good jumping on point for you. And this
Yeah, I
character
think I
does seem
literally
like,
said that on the show while you were giving us the rundown.
yeah, like you would like it. But like as I get more of this character, I'm like, oh, you're gonna love this guy. You know, he's such a dork. And his shtick might get old, but I don't think it will because it's only 12 episodes, so it's like,
Hmm.
and usually Dogengers characters do grow pretty fast, so.
The whole opening scene of him like trying to give directions to a boomer and them getting so fed up with him that they just end up using their phone for directions was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah, Dogengers has a lot of great humor, and like it just has a lot of good heart. And also that ending scene after the opening song, which is really good. Like still, Dogengers openings are like they're pretty solid, but I think this is the best one they've done. But
Yeah.
like,
I also really liked the dance. The dance was fun too.
oh yeah, the dance is from high school. They just updated the lyrics a bit to make it more in line with this season.
Oh, okay.
Um, like yeah. What else? Yeah. So when Yuzu, the main villain girl played by the VTuber, is like basically just they get out. They just beat up the Yakuza.
Yeah,
Just
she gets activated and it's like, all right, we're gonna send you after the heroes. And she just goes, nah, I'm just gonna beat you up. And then she looks at like their big evidence board of like it's more like a conspiracy theory board of like all the photos of the Dogengers and stuff. She looks at like all their like accessories and weapons and goes like, oh shit, I want that stuff. So
yeah.
the plot of the show is just gonna be her stealing from the Dogengers.
And like the thing is, all those items are things really important to them from like past events. Either for like some of them are basic like swords, but some of them are like oh, and
Hmm.
yeah. So it's like that was a real oh shit moment for someone who's like know these characters. It was just nice to get like a Mako cameo at the end with her just like kind of walking with her buddy.
Oh,
Uh,
was that the high school main character?
yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
I knew she was probably meant to be somebody, but I was just like, yeah, the idol girl funny.
yeah, she's doing a great job, and I can't wait to see what shenanigans she gets up to next episode.
Yeah.
Uh,
Over under. You think she's gonna have a redemption arc?
Oh, 100%. They're already teasing it in the opening.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of great gags in this. I think there's only like one scene that I was like, this is obviously supposed to be funny, but it's not my kind of comedy, and I can't even remember what it was now because I watched all the episodes yesterday for once.
Mm.
It's just like I'm just looking over screen caps again right now. I'm like, yeah, this was a good time. I'm on board with Dogengers now. I don't know how soon I'm gonna go back and watch the old seasons, but I'll definitely keep current with this show as much as I can.
Yeah. Thank you, Tokugami and others for subbing it. Thank you. And I hope the subtitle work treats you well. You know.
Hmm.
Thank you for subbing this amazing show, and I can't wait to see more episodes. All right. Superhero time.
Yeah.
All right, Kamen Rider Geats, episode 31, Lamination 7, Heaven or Hell game. No, it's Heaven and Hell game. I got Guilty Gear on the mind.
Mid. We
They
went
did
right back
K1
to
dirty.
mid.
They did K1 so dirty here.
This is clearly supposed to be a Kwa episode, but the plot is butting up against it.
This is probably the most frustrating. Yeah, like there's a lot of good moments in here and a lot of oh shit moments. And the plot stuff is really good, but also it's like, man,
because like Keats doesn't even show up until like 8 minutes in, but as soon as he shows up, it is completely about him.
Yeah, and then does Neon even show up in this episode? Like,
no, they literally say she's looking for a new place to live this week.
Okay. Oh my god, what the hell is? I don't know. This feels like we're starting to get into that point of a Kamen Rider show where it's like all the plot stuff has to happen, so all the side characters that actually have arcs have to get sidelined for the final form shit, and it's really frustrating.
I mean, next week is supposed to be the final episode of the Lamentation arc, so I guess we're almost out of the woods and we're going to be moving on to something new and bombastic. But right now, like, this just isn't a really strong episode because it feels very confused on what it wants to do. There's a lot of really interesting discussion on what it means to be a hero and finding your resolve with Kwa, but then, like, it also... doing that, it's constantly, like, throwing Geats under the bus for benefiting from the DGP, but then it will swing the other way and go, like... But Geats needed it, though, because he needs to find his mom. And look at all this crazy shit that's happening. He has to stop it, guys. He has to be the main character. Trust me.
Yeah, it just feels like he's the main character because the show says so, and not because he has a resolve, you know?
Mm-hmm. And, like... it's really weird to feel that way because for most of the show I've been pretty behind Ace. It's just this week I feel like it did a really poor job of getting me behind him for this arc, and it makes me feel really underwhelmed that we're getting Gene back next week.
Yeah, like it's just like, oh, Gene has to show up. Like we made a big deal out of him leaving, and now he's back again and about time too? Question mark.
Yeah, I think it was literally just like... Did he literally just leave for a single filming block to go do something else? Did the actor just need time off? Yeah, because he had to go
graduate. I think he just had to graduate, like, because there was a thing about him graduating high school recently, so it's I guess that's what he was doing.
He was like, hey, I got finals. I'll be back in a week, guys.
Yeah. Man, it just feels like kind of like... I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss some people off. It felt like Revice, where it's like these are things that are supposed to happen in a Kamen Rider show instead of like naturally having them happen, you know?
Yeah, it didn't feel as bad as Revice, but it definitely did feel like that same kind of not going for the motions, but like we're forcing ourselves to get to a certain point that we should be at right around now.
Yeah, instead of naturally letting the story go, it's like, well, this is what happens in a Kamen Rider show, you know? It's like...
It almost feels like the show really could have benefited from having an extra 2 episodes. Like, let this arc just be about Kwa, and then do a 2-parter with all this stuff with Ace.
Yeah, like it really felt like they're just ending because, well, we don't go past 10 episodes for a arc in the show, so, you know?
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I don't know how you untangle these plot points to make that happen either. It's a real quagmire over here, especially with this episode having the same problem I had last week. Random scene at the end for shock value reveal thing.
Yeah, I will say this one was better than last week's. Just
yeah. Oh, if anything, we got Notch Sparrow doing a Poggers face, so that was nice.
Yeah. And also just, like, freaking, like, that last line saying, heaven or hell, Geats, like, freaking... I pulled up, like, an old tweet from when the Geats trademark was first revealed, where I said, oh, there has to be a Geats form saying Geats of Hell. And I'm like, did I call it or something?
We'll know when Bandai tells us.
Yeah. Well, like, I called hell being a phrase in an arc of this show. There.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah, I got the 25% correct. Let's talk about King-Ohger now. Oh, Sentai King-Ohger, Fury of the Gods. No relation to the Shazam sequel.
Ah, damn it! I was gonna make that joke. I was waiting for you to say it, and then I was gonna go like, oh man, I can't believe Zachary Levi just hijacked a whole episode of Super Sentai to talk about how hard everybody worked on Shazam 2.
God damn it. This was fine. I liked it.
I really liked this episode. I thought this was getting back, not like fully there, but getting back to somewhat of the quality we had leading up to.
Yeah, a lot of good character focus this week.
Yeah, because it's very focused on what I think is going to end up being the main triad of the show of Gira, Yama, and Himeno. There's a lot of like interesting character interplay with them, of them actually trying to solve the problem of being locked out of their Zords. Well, the Bowski and Rita are just off in the background, sort of keeping Reckless busy and also trying to investigate what he's doing. And all of that worked. I really like the character interaction. I definitely think they want us to ship Yama and Himeno now, and you know what, I kind of do. And also, holy shit, her backstory. This character is like perfectly designed for me. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah, I thought it was...
it's like 2 steps away from being the new 52 Supergirl origin.
Did you like the new 52 Supergirl?
Yeah, I think that's the best ongoing Supergirl book there's ever been.
Very interesting.
Also,
okay,
this friggin' Monster of the Week. Oh my gosh. Just friggin' General Ant. I love him. I need to figure this guy.
Oh, that dude was nefarious, man. He was a real, like, that. I was kind of grossed out when they all started eating the thing to become big. Not gonna lie. I don't know. Something about that just like, oh.
True, but I do like that as a monster growth method in a season about bugs eating ambrosia.
Oh no, that's good. I'm not saying like, I'm just saying it grossed me out in a good way, not in a bad way. You know?
Yeah.
Like this is supposed to be gross. You know.
Mm-hmm. I just love his design. From like it looks like a goofy show costume. Like he looks they reused parts from Aunt Capone.
God damn it. Yeah. I know some people are complaining about the green screen in this episode, and like, yeah, it was
a little more noticeable this week, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, and it's like this is a more of a lesser like plot-driven episode, and I feel like with their more climactic episodes, they're gonna work on polishing it more. You know, because we just had a sea of climactic episodes, so this is more of a breather before next week.
Mm-hmm. Next week, we're guys, it's finally gonna happen. They're finally doing it. They're finally making an attempt to top Geki and Barai's brotherly ranger rivalry.
Yeah, and if there's any other better Sentai brotherly ranger rivalries, please add us and stuff.
Yeah, because the only other one I know about is the Go Riders.
Yeah, they were basically on par with each other, so who cares?
Yeah, from what I understand, they were not just Moto Bros in Power Rangers, but in Sentai as well.
Yeah. Actually, like, I do want to talk about when Ran confronted the Scorpion. Badass, man. That's a
real... and she's like, "Yo, you and that beetle fucking? Y'all fucking? What's going on?"
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like, just giving a little more personality to the Zords. That was great. I think that's about it.
Yeah,
we got
really solid episode. Like not as good as the character introduction episodes were, but like if this is what we can expect from an average King-Ohger episode going forward, I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, also like when freaking Yanma did that Gurren.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because he just failed at doing the Kamina punch of like grit your teeth. You know.
I mean, it's not like. Yes, it's a Gurren Lagann thing, but it's also like a greater like Japanese trope in media.
Yeah, but like for me, dumb Western guy, Gurren Lagann famousized it. So.
Yeah, and it's always great to see that trope used to cool effect, and I thought it was cool effect here to have them kind of subvert it.
Yeah, it was very good. It really played into their personality as well.
Mm-hmm. Just firmly establishing all throughout this episode of like, if nothing else. Yama, Himeno, and Gira have a friendship going.
Yeah, they're a good trio. Mm-hmm. Should we move on to old stuff and toys? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I watched a few more episodes of Mega Ranger this week, episodes 29 through 32. Not a whole lot to report. I remember there being one episode that really stuck out to me at the time, but like I'm removed enough from it now that I don't super remember what happened.
Dang.
That's the thing about this show. Like I keep saying, it is a Sentai. There's cool moments in it, but overall, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm watching this, I'm digging it.
Let me look at the episode list to see if any like of those episodes have like interesting premise.
Yeah.
There's a
Let
Lost
me
Weight episode. There's an Amnesia episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's the it was the episode. There's an episode about the Pink Ranger getting concerned because one of her character traits is that she's a big foodie and she eats a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
And she gets concerned that she's putting on too much weight, which this is not an episode that people would write today. You could make it today, but I don't think people would want to write it today. And because like all of her friends are like, yeah, you're getting fat. You need to do something about that. Because 1990s Japan.
1990s just America, even just 1990s world attitude.
But she starts going on this diet, and then the monster plot of the week is that they're going to make crepes that make people just want to eat and eat and eat until they can't fit anything else in their body and they die of overeating. And there's a really silly thing because the monster of the week has to have a human form in order to sell the crepes, so he turns into this goofy chef guy with a little cart out in the street, and he has this whole crew of disguised foot soldiers who are just dancing and singing this goofy crepe song that I'm like, that is the best thing ever. That's proper goofy classic Sentai shit. I love it.
Yeah. As for me, I've been going back to the Ultraman well. Let's start off with like a bit more of the confusing part. Watch the Ultraman Zero movies because Ultraman Zero doesn't have his own show technically, unless you count Geed, but he's more of a secondary protagonist, so who cares?
Yeah, he's like if Aqua Red was more fleshed out, right?
Yeah, he's basically one of the most popular Ultramans. Because basically he was the mascot for Tsuburaya's movies back before, like in between Mebius and Ginga, like when they didn't have a full show, they just did a bunch of specials and movies. And like, let me freaking open up the list of Zero movies so I can freaking like get my thoughts on them clear. If you don't mind. I watched the Zero movies and most of them were pretty solid. If this was a full show, it would probably be like a 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, but like there's a lot of like 10 out of 10 moments to put it in perspective, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I find the list? Luckily the thing I have has
just go in your media, Fred.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I put that all. Follow me on Twitter because I do put things I watch, both Toku and non-Toku, in my media thread. So, if you want to like see what I've been reading or something, I don't know. The first one was Mega Monster Battle, and this was basically it's more of an Zero's more of like he appears in the third act.
Isn't that the first Ultraman thing Koichi Sakamoto did?
Yes, this is Sakamoto's start with Ultraman, and man, what a start of it! It's a really exciting start.
Yeah.
It was a pretty fun movie. Like there are a lot of like you don't really need to know the Showa Ultraman. It kind of like establishes a new status quo for the Ultramen in like the universe, and like also tying into the Ultra Galaxy show, which is basically just a bunch of like crew looking for monsters and like looking at monsters fighting. From what I could gather, I know there's a bit more than that, but that's like there. That was fun. I gave that like it was fine. Ultra Galaxy side story was kind of like, it's there. It's just, there's a lot of gorgeous fights, but there. Now, the real, like, one that got me hooked was Ultraman Zero, The Revenge of Belial. And I think anyone can watch this movie. You don't need past movies to watch it. Just go, like, it's an hour and a half, and it's a really fun space adventure movie. I understand why a lot of Letterboxd reviews says it's like Star Wars, because it does have a lot of that, like, hopping to planet, like, a lot of charisma, a lot of fun characters to explore. It's like we basically get introduced to Zero's best friends here, like who like he fights and then befriends. That's really fun, and like even the human characters are a few charming. It's basically like from like transitioning Zero to what we know today, like as this character. Like it's basically like from his a bit angstier portrayal in Mega Monster Battle to what he is today, and I think that's great. And then I watched Ultraman Saga, which is weird because it's a Dyna Cosmos movie as well, but they're barely in it, and it's mostly Zero focused. And I don't think it was fine. I guess I didn't really care for it, honestly. I like Zero's human host Taiga's arc in this movie. He had a really good arc, but other than that, I'm like, it exists. There's some fun things. And then we end up at the last Ultraman Zero thing before he appears in Geed, Ultra Zero Fight. I love this thing. It is a perfect finale to Zero's character. It has arguably the best Ultraman scene ever. Of like when like basically Zero gets possessed by Belial for a bit, but then they just do this amazing like inside the possession. Zero and Belial fight in the rain, and then Zero like oh my god, this scene. I'm about to get really sappy here, but like then Zero just flies up carrying Belial, and you get this like in the rain. They go up to the sky with this hype insert song Ultra Fly playing as Zero says onward, onward, and then he goes up to the sun to like get a new form, and it's I keep rewatching it. It's so beautiful. It's like the speech he gives. It's just that's pure Tokusatsu and Ultraman, man. That is and the rest of the special is great too. It's a great little finale to Zero's little like movie arc. You know?
Nice.
I'm sorry, I went really off there.
No, it's good. I like it when you get passionate. It's just like I haven't seen that shit, so I'm like, okay, so I definitely need to watch it then.
Yeah, really recommend the Zero movies. And then I also, because like that was only like new generation Ultraman shows, they're 20 episodes. I can get this done. I watched Ultraman X because I've never watched Ultraman X. It was pretty good actually. I wasn't vibing with it at first. But episode 4 really sold me on it. There was this really good, like, plot about X and his host. I forgot his name, but X and his host kind of, like, interacting. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. So, like, the interactions and character arc they gave that episode. And then more of the episode is pretty good. Now, X is kind of an anniversary show. I know you can say that about a lot of Ultraman shows, but, like, actual, like, Ultraman hosts show up. Even Max shows up for an episode, which I was not expecting. I was like, what's Max doing here?
Oh my god, I can't believe Warner Brothers' streaming service was in this show.
I was tempted to make a Max joke when that whole thing was happening, but I never did because I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna give you. I hate Warner Brothers right now.
You see, that's you don't make the shit jokes. That's why I'm here. I'm shit joke man.
Yeah, fair. Well, like, yeah, Ultraman X, a lot of great one-off episodes. The ending just kind of happens, but, like, it's better than when Hurricane's ending just kind of happened, because that felt like a pure finale. Like, the characters are just it's just nice to see them. They don't have, like, as defined personalities or arcs as other Ultraman hosts or Ultraman support teams, but they're just, like, fun to be around. It's a very comfy show. And, also, Nexus does a thing in an episode. And yeah, that was pretty good. Not as good as its Ultra Galaxy Fight Destined Crossroad Nexus appearance, because that was just majestic. That was like, it felt like God himself was giving you Nexus content, but this was still pretty good.
Neat.
Yeah, so Ultraman is great. Watch the thingies. Yeah. I'd say Ultraman X isn't my favorite. I'd probably put it in more of the middle tier, but it's still like a 8, 7 out of 10, you know?
Yeah, and again, like, I haven't checked out any of that stuff myself, but I want to watch every Tokusatsu eventually, so it's good to know that that stuff's good, and also, like, I do have weird, like, tangential experiences with both those things, in that, I think I've talked about this on the show before, but, like, one of the first things that drew me back to Power Rangers and got me interested in the greater world of Tokusatsu was a podcast Vangelis and Apollo Z Hack did years and years ago, and, like, the one little bit of Ultraman discussion they did in there, because it was just, like, a 2-hour podcast about, like, Tokusatsu is cool, you should get into Tokusatsu. But the one little bit of Ultraman discussion in there was Vangelis just going off of having said, like, he's a big fan of Koichi Sakamoto, and then gushing about Ultra Galaxy Fight for a few minutes. He was like, I usually expect kaiju fights to be really boring, because they gotta be slow to convey the size and weight, but Koichi Sakamoto made him do, like, crazy karate stuff in that movie, and that was amazing.
And, like, the thing is, Sakamoto didn't do all the Zero movies, as some people think. Like, a lot of great directors work on that. And, like, but Sakamoto did clearly influence the style of that, I will say.
And then X was the first currently airing Ultra show I was aware of while it was airing. Like, that was one of the ones that aired on Crunchyroll originally.
It was the first one, actually.
Okay. And I
remember,
remember,
like, a big milestone.
I remember the Ultraman fandom doing, like, a big push for that, like, getting it out to people and, like, saying, hey, you like Tokusatsu, you should check out Ultraman now that there's an official legal way to do that. And I have actually seen the first episode of X. I watched it on Crunchyroll back in the day, but I never watched past that because I had a bunch of other stuff going on at the time.
I mean, again, X doesn't really click with me until episode 4. So, like, it might take a while. And it's only like 22 episodes, so it's not that big of an ask, so.
Yeah, I'll go back and watch it eventually.
Yeah. It's a good show. It's after Ginga S, it really felt like here's the cleaning up your napkins, because I don't like Ginga S at all. Ginga S is like my least favorite one.
Yeah.
I think I hate it more than Trigger, honestly.
And no matter what, when I do eventually watch the rest of X, it'll be a pretty new experience for me, because it was so long ago that literally all I remember is like the first 2 shots and thinking like, whoa, this intro is way more stylish than I'm used to.
Oh yeah. Sakamoto did direct a few episodes of X. You can tell which ones he did, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a bit of that. I was like, oh, was this Sakamoto directed? Yeah, he was Sakamoto directed. But like, it's still a lot of good choreography. And also like the Ultra Armors thing is a pretty cool concept. I do like the Ultra Armor thing they gave him. Although Victory kind of had it, but I think it was perfected with X. So, yeah, Ultraman good, Sentai good. I can't believe none of us have watched any Kamen Rider recently. Well, granted, I've watched all of Haste. I've watched all the modern stuff that people care about. So
yeah, well, I'll get to stuffing eventually. I mean, knowing how my polls have gone, the next thing I watch is probably going to be a Kamen Rider show.
Yeah, which Kamen Rider show are you thinking of adding?
I haven't given it any thought yet. I'll start thinking about that when I'm in the last 10 episodes of Mega Ranger, probably.
Yeah.
So, probably middle of next month.
No, I was just gonna say, how about instead 1 month you just pick, okay, I want to watch something from this specific franchise. Here's all of the poll entries are all from that franchise. Pick one. What's your favorite?
I'll consider that. But for now, Buster, why don't you tell the good people where they can find you on the internet?
Hi, I'm Buster Corp. I do videos and podcasts over at my channel, Buster Corp. I just made a video on Hurricaneer plus Operator. Sorry if the audio's shit. I recorded it somewhere else. But like, hey, it's still tolerable, I think. And more videos are coming very soon. So check that out. Also at Twitter, at BusterBlade3, where I tweet about the things I'm watching and also just post dumb memes occasionally and retweet funny art. And yeah, I'm also at Tumblr at Buster's Corp, where I go there occasionally, and then I reblog things that I find are cool. So I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah, and I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos where I talk about things and stuff. Got a new video coming out tomorrow. It's not keying into hashtag Power Rangers because I'm not one of those people. It's about a completely different topic than Power Rangers. So, I don't know, go subscribe at the Vacuuminator. I got plenty of videos about Power Rangers and other Tokusatsu stuff. Yeah, I'm also on social media. Twitter and Tumblr at the Vacuuminator. Instagram and TikTok at the Vacuuminator with an underscore between those 2 words. And yeah, guys, I think that's it. That's everything for this week in Tokusatsu. So, thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.